What's up, Sean?
You guys got me? Sorry about that. I had the mute button on. Sorry. I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
Can't complain.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Hey, I know you're on the radio all the time. You talk to a lot of people around the country, do a lot of hits. Have you come up with a solution for the transfer portal, because it's an absolute mess right now? Have you come up with anything? Like maybe
Yeah, well, a couple things. I don't know about the transfer portal. I mean, there was like 6,000 people in it. It's becoming I'm being serious. We're talking thousands of people in this portal. Most are going to be left without a place to go, at least a lateral move or a place they thought they were going to go, and most aren't getting paid a dime. That being said, the ones that are, I guess more power to them. The only way you can limit a transfer portal is making it where a certain time of year and limit the transfer regardless. I mean, but the problem is now we've added 2 years of JUCO, and then you can go play 4 years of college. So now you can go play junior college for 2 years, and then they're going to give you 4 years eligibility at a school outside of JUCO. So we've now encouraging guys to play football for 6 or 7 years in college. That's what we're encouraging now. And then now add to that, just a couple more extra years to transfer. So I don't know the answer other than putting exact dates and limit their transfer regardless. One medical transfer, one transfer without sitting out, and then you have to sit out. And then, I also, guys, if you want to handle NIL and collective and a transfer portal, you know what I do? And I'm being dead serious about this. They're grown adults now. They get paid. They can be criticized. An 18 or 19-year-old can be criticized just like a 28-year-old. It used to be you'd separate the two. If you're broadcasting a college game, you're not going to go in and get after an 18-year-old talking about he's overpaid and needs to produce more. You are now because, the family's sitting home. But they're grown adults and people. I have a story of a guy that I know that I trained. He was making so much in NIL, and so he didn't transfer. They raised it by 4 times.
Wow.
And it's just, so to me, here's what I do. I would implement an NIL, a name, image, and likeness collective. Money-wise, I would implement a salary cap, to where you just got to do it like the NFL. If you don't have any room under the cap, you either got to get rid of players or to make the money. Even if it's because the big ones like Texas or A&M are always going to have more money than Missouri is. They just are big boosters. So why wouldn't I limit them? Put a ceiling on how much they can spend, and if you want to even add a floor depending on where they are and what boosters, a percentage of it, fine. But I would make it a salary cap NIL, so you can't go out and get 8 guys at $5 million each and $40 million because you're making more and you're a bigger school and you're just in a place like oil company like we are here in Texas. That number 2 is I would say we should be allowed to cut players. Game 3, you're a 5-star recruit, 4-star recruit. You're playing, but you're not starting, and you're a little late for practice. You're just not like you would in the NFL. Things just aren't working out. Game 3 during the season, boom, I can cut you because you can transfer when you want. You can leave in game 3. Matter of fact, you can leave UNLV and say you want more money and sit out, and then they could still go and win 11 games this year. So I would, and I train them, and Manucci, I know you do too, but I don't feel sorry for them anymore. They are now doing what coaches can do. They move around. Hell, they can move around much easier than coaches and free agents and pro. While I love the kids, let's start treating them like adults. They want adult money. They want adult Lamborghinis. They want adult celebrations. Guess what? Game 3, you're not performing. I'm going to cut you because there's a 5-star backup. Let somebody else develop you. And once you cut them, scholarship frees up. And they got to go find their own job. And that means they don't get to stay at school.
Love it.
Unless they want to quit football. Cut them. Flat out cut them. And if they haven't lived up to their NIL obligation, then you pay them in increments. You don't pay them up front. When they've, and I think they do that now, but when they've earned it, then you pay them. I would say you can cut them and put an NIL salary cap on them. If you're 19 or 20 and you can transfer 4 times, then I should be allowed to cut you and replace you with a guy that I want more on my roster that I under-recruited out of high school.
Sean, that might be the most articulate, loquacious meaning I've heard. Can you go?
We're gonna wrap that up.
Can we go get you on top of the NCAA staff? Because obviously that makes way too much sense. They may not hire you because of that. And on top of that, since I'm a JUCO guy from Mason Community College, can I do a retroactive and go get 2 more years? You think I got a chance now?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I understand we want to give them an opportunity, but now it's going to shape recruiting. I mean, with the transfers shaped it. Now you can go to JUCO. And the truth is, now if you're a guy You can go there and play at El Camino College, which is really good. We know a lot. Texas, there's a lot of great JUCOs. Play lights out football, and instead of just having 2 years, 3 years out, 2 years eligibility and 3 to get it, now hell, you get the transfer, you go on to something better. Now you go in as a freshman with experience. So the Division I or Power 5 schools or FCS schools are going to benefit. Late bloomers go there, boom, they become a monster, and then go get a scholarship. That part I get. It's a developmental process, but to encourage 6 years of college, I just don't. And we got guys now playing 8 and 9 years of college with eligibility rules. So I literally would walk into the end. If they put me in charge of it, I'd say, here's the date. You could transfer. You get one free transfer, and then you have to sit out if you transfer again. And this is the only time you can do it. You can't. It's not a free for all. And then secondly, I'd put a salary cap on NIL and collective, how much you can spend. And I would say you're allowed to cut a player at any time, just like they are. Or put a time frame of the year or the season in the fall and the spring where you're allowed to cut them, where they can get a chance to go somewhere else. But they don't just get to bolt on you without ramifications. I would say that they're grown adults now. Let's cut them. And yes, those would be my first 4 proposals if I walked in and represented the NCAA tomorrow.
Outstanding. And you can't blame these kids. I would love to still be at Ohio U for 8 years.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Well, the rules are set up for it, dude. I mean, Rock.
Yeah.
The rules are set up. So why not? Why wouldn't I?
All right, Sean Salisbury here, Rock Minucci. All right, 12-team college playoff is here. It begins tonight, tomorrow. The 4 first-round games on campus, which I think is a lot of fun. Of these 4 games, which one do you like the most? If you could only watch one.
Yeah, let's go. Let me pull them up just to make sure I don't miss them. I know we got the game tonight. Indiana, Notre Dame.
SMU.
Yep, that one.
Okay, first one tonight. Okay,
I got them in front. I got them in front of me. I got them. But Indiana, Notre Dame. And first off, I'm with you. I love having them on campus.
Yeah.
It's friggin' awesome. You've earned that right. You should be able to play at home, so the student body that's out of school can come back into Notre Dame and go watch. You know what? And I'm looking at point spreads, guys. I'll give you both. One, it's down to 6.5. I think it started at 7, maybe. I think Indiana, this is the first time since the 90s they've played each other, and they're 3 hours apart. I think Indiana and Signetti are going to give them all they can handle. Notre Dame probably wins the game in a close one, but I'd take those points here. And if I'm that, give me the 6.5, and I'm betting Indiana, and I will bet them.
Outstanding. No, it's unfortunate, though.
SMU Penn State.
Okay.
SMU Penn State. This is a chess. I wouldn't if I was Penn State. I know you're at home, all that crowd, and I wouldn't get too comfortable because SMU can score, and if you let them play in space and that quarterback, they can. I got a lot of dogs when it comes to the point spread. This is also this is 8.5. I think SMU is going to get inside that number. I think Penn State probably wins at home. I think SMU is more dangerous than they get national credit for. They've earned that 10th spot. Let's see. What give me the other one? Who else am I missing over the weekend?
Texas and Clemson.
Yeah, Texas and Clemson. The interesting about this is Klubnik and Quinn Ewers. They played in the state playoffs against each other. One from South Lake Carroll and the other from Lake Austin's Westlake Austin. And the crazy thing about it is now Westlake Austin is playing in the state final again this year in Dallas, while Klubnik's going back to his hometown of Austin and playing against Ewers in this big bowl game. Texas wins because they're more physical. My biggest concern in the game is, will they use Arch Manning's legs and add a package or 10 for him? And can Quinn Ewers come out and play consistent early?
Yes.
Give me Clemson inside the number, but give me Texas with the win. I think their defense is too physical.
Can Tennessee go up to Ohio State and win that game?
Yeah, Ohio State's the most, when it comes to this, they're the most talented team in the country, player for player. Yet I don't feel great about them. And I don't know if that's the Ryan Day fact in big games. I mean, this team should be, I'm not even sure with that talent and the way I'm thinking, I guess they can win a national title, but I would put them like 5th or 6th, talent-wise at the top. But there's something missing about their grind. I don't know, the toughness or what have you. I think they're going to win, but I think this also sets up with an upset. If Tennessee's quarterback plays and protects the football, when they've gotten trouble is when he's been a little careless, but he is so skilled. Keep it close past halftime, and Ohio State will start to question if here we go again. I got all 4 dogs getting inside the number in this game. I'm going to favor Ohio State because they got to be pissed after the way people are talking about them after their season, even though they were in position to win it, and they still are. But there's something that's missing I give Tennessee a hell of a shot here, and Heupel's going to play fast. We're going to see if they can keep up with their offense.
So
I'll say that all 4 dogs get inside the number. One of those is going to win outright. One of those is going to take the money line. There will be an upset in these games tonight, even though I don't know if I have it. I haven't taken one favorite in these games.
That's Sean Salisbury with his picks. Sean, only you and I would be able to relate to this because we're both we have master's degrees in sports administration. But what's interesting?
Okay.
What's interesting, Sean, is
hey, for those mere minions that aren't part of the industry, but hey, who's counting, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what I find interesting is all the ticket sales revenue goes to the CFP. All the schools get by hosting the home game is parking and concessions. So they don't get any of the ticket sales, which is nuts.
Yeah, exactly. They get the home field advantage, which is the way the NCAA is saying, here's your reward, right?
Yeah.
And you could sell soda and beer, and you could sell a couple hot dogs. And I personally think it's Bush League. Another miss on the NCAA's part, which is no shock. My favorite part of this is hire 6 athletic directors that have to vote for the committee of the top 12 teams of the 13 people, like 6 ADs that are voting, and as if they're not going to try to play favoritism towards their school or their conference. It's we can't find 13 people that aren't affiliated in a conference or a school that know football. Yeah. How stupid are these people? I mean, if they had a brain, they'd be dangerous, okay? So with that, yeah, it's pathetic that they're, 100,000 people are going to show up at Happy Valley and State College tonight. And, hey, man, thanks for selling all those sodas and beers, but give us the money because you're not getting an ounce of it. It's typical of the NCAA. One of these days, the NCAA is going to be taking care of the FCS or the non-Power 5 schools or non-Power 4, and they're going to run their own conference and do it the right way.
And, Sean, away teams have the option for a hype video during intros. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Well, doesn't it fit in, Rock and Mooch? Think about this. What do we do now with an 8th grader? Well, hell, the Lakers hung a championship banner by winning the the in-season cup tournament.
Yeah.
The Lakers, is that not it? This is a legendary, my Lakers, and, they hang up banners with Jerry West and Chamberlain and Abdul-Jabbar. And, let's hang one up for the NBA Cup. We're not even 40 games. What are you kidding? Why don't you hang one up to the All-Star game, too, where they score 300 points each team does? So, yeah, that's Bush League, too. Listen, you should be, the committee, your guys chose them, NC2A. If you get home field advantage, you should, number one, get treated like home field. Your band's not going out second. You're not getting a hype video in my facility.
2 minutes.
Oh, you can have a hype video if you want to pay us $1 million. We'll give you that, like SC's doing now. If you want to run down the tunnel, it'll cost you $5,000 to run down with your team if you're a fan. So any way to make money at the end, so what's the reward? You get a home game. If you don't get any, you can't be shocked by this. This is not as easy a call. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. You knew this was coming down the pike.
Hey, we'll leave you with this. Christian Walker is going to do well for the Astros. You're going to like this
You'll
guy.
like him.
It's unfortunate that the Diamondbacks couldn't keep him, but Christian Walker is going to be a big hit.
Consummate
for
pro,
Astros.
Sean.
Yeah,
Consummate
you're going to like
pro.
this guy.
And guys, real quick, pumped for him. They have a major hole in that, and with Kyle Tucker gone and Alex Bregman on the brink, unless it happened while we were on this phone. Bregman on the brink of leaving. You can imagine it's football season, and baseball fans, also want to say, "Is Bregman staying? What happened to Tucker? Who we getting? What's it going on first base?" So they need somebody, and they need a golfer who's a pro and fits into the clubhouse, and he's one of them.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Have a Merry Christmas, buddy.
Sean.
Merry Christmas,
Hey,
buddy. We'll talk to you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
We'll talk to you next year. That's Sean Salisbury joining us for a few minutes here, as he does on Fridays. We appreciate him. He's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team for 2025. All City Towing, they are hiring. They had all kinds of positions across the board. Incredible benefits, a 401k employer match, even employee-paid life insurance. How about that? And a fuel allowance. So if you're ready to take your career to the next level, visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Well, we're talking about the transfer portal. Rick Neuheisel offers up a fix to the current college football calendar. It's football at 50 next. It's Rock and Manuch live from Wright Toyota.